You know, it's terrible taxing people.
But,
Yeah.
I don't know if you, the state tax makes sense to me. I don't know if you would support an estate tax. I'd be interested to know your views, but are there other ways to tax wealth? Are there just palatable ways to tax wealth?
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah, we have to tax wealth. Again, the same way that, we're going to have to put a price on carbon, and I think we live in this world where, I think you read the New York Times today, it's about Mr. Kushner, Jared Kushner's hasn't paid taxes in years, right? And they show how like through these investments, purchases in properties, and the depreciation of these properties, how he avoids the payment of taxes. So, I think like in billionaires in the United States, people like these household names like Buffett had said there should be a minimum tax. In the same way that Nate has talked about, others have talked about universal basic incomes and economies going forward. So yeah, I think I don't know what the answer is in terms of a public policy problem, but I think in Canada, because we tend to think that we live in a relatively strong economy, a rich economy, we have generous social programs, that we live in a relatively egalitarian society. But actually, when you look at the data, there's these coefficients that they use to look at dispersions of income, and you compare top deciles with bottom deciles. These gaps in Canada, they're bigger than OECD averages. We sit right behind the Americans in terms of disparity. So I'm not sure we see ourselves that way. Unless you walk the streets, maybe where I was yesterday in Caverstown, and this morning getting a coffee at Tim Hortons in Regent area, you could start to see the gaps. So and again, in an economy in the future where more and more of this job goes to knowledge economies. I grew up in a blue-collar family. My dad was a machinist, paper mills, and union jobs, good, lower middle-class kind of upbringings. It's harder and harder to maintain. We haven't been good at holding on to those jobs like a few other economies, Germany and others. So we're going to have to look at changing ways of taxation to bring about, because if it continues to get worse and worse, and it's definitely, these disparities are getting bigger, not smaller. You could see this in the income distribution numbers of this Canada, that more and more of the gains are going. Right now, we're still a little bit better than the Americans. Overall, the pie's getting bigger. But so everybody's slice is getting a little bit bigger, but the big slices are going to the top 1%, the top 10%. And if you think about it, in the world that we live in, around technology, who benefits by those gains? The wealth that's going to be created that they're going to sit on. How do you recycle that back into the economy? So we're going to have to look at ways to tax this sort of capital for sure.